Joining me now is the defence and security analyst, Professor Michael Clarke. Michael, it's good to see you. Look, we talked about this a couple of days ago, but certainly since then, it seems that Ukraine's strategy of effectively giving Russia a dose of its own medicine is working.
Yes, Matt, I think it is. We're into day 6. So this started on Tuesday last week. So tomorrow will be the 7th day, a full week. And all the evidence is that the Ukrainians, are winning this battle insofar as it goes. I mean, we've got to be very careful about where this will go after this. But for the first few days, undoubtedly, as I say, they haven't just launched a surprise attack. They've launched an attack of complete astonishment. They've astonished the Russians. They've astonished the Western backers. And the shock value is still working in Kyiv's favor. So they've driven this pocket into Russian territory. And that pocket is at least 35 miles long and about 15 miles deep at the moment. And that's pretty powerful. And the Russians, as you said in your report, have had to withdraw or evacuate at least 76,000 people. And they've now put on emergency measures across 3 oblasts. So across itself in Belgorod, in Bryansk and in Kursk itself. So 3 complete regions are now locked down because of this pocket, this relatively small pocket in national terms, but a big pocket in military terms. So yes, the Ukrainians must be very pleased with where they are now, but what happens next, of course, is the big issue.
Well, that is my next question, Michael. Yeah. Can Ukraine maintain this offensive into Russian territory?
Only if they're reinforced. And that's the question. I mean, we know they've got 3 or 4 maybe brigades, full brigades, or equivalent to full brigades in there. And some of the brigades we know they've got in there, the 22nd, the 88th Mechanized Brigade, the 80th Air Assault Brigade, these are top-level brigades. So these are elite troops, as it were, or very serious fighting units. And that means that the Ukrainians are serious about this. And that means that the Russians will have to deploy some of their better units in order to throw them out again. And so what the Ukrainians are undoubtedly hoping is that this draws in good units, key units of the Russian army and relieves the Ukrainians elsewhere. But undoubtedly, the Russians can't let this stand. The idea of having a piece of their territory seized for the first time since 1941, they can't let that stand. Putin can't let that stand. So they will counterattack as strongly as they need to, and this battle will get a great deal more ferocious yet before the next few days are out.
Michael, final question. Conversely, what does it do for Ukraine, defending some of its territory? Are resources being pulled by them from other parts of Donbass, and therefore they're gambling on this offensive working?
Yeah, they are gambling on it working, and so far the gamble is paying off. I mean, as I say, they're using some of their good units to create this pocket, but anecdotal evidence at the moment, I'm trying to get some more confirmation about it, but anecdotal evidence is the Russians are pulling some of their better units out of the south, around Chaziv Yar and Pokrovsk, from the area of further east at Voronezh. So it looks as if they are pulling some of their forces out, but undoubtedly the Russians will do whatever it takes to eliminate this pocket, and the longer the Ukrainians choose to hold on, the tougher it will get.
Michael, as ever, good to see you. Thanks very much indeed.